Good morning, everybody. Welcome to yoga at Cherry Grove Beach. This morning we're going to do a moon salutation. It is the full flower moon today, May 7th. So I thought we'd celebrate the moon. So after our warm-up, we'll go through a moon salutation a few times and then finish with some nice reflection. So it's good to see you all this morning. Everybody's logging on. Excellent. I have to get closer to see. Dawn is here. Good morning. Diane is here. Excellent. I'm also going to post after class today. I'm going down to the beach tonight. I'm going to watch that full moon rise. I'm bringing my mat. I'm just going to find a little meditation. Just kind of quiet down my mind, my brain, and then I'm going to go through a couple of moon salutations. I welcome anybody to come and join me tonight. Again, I'll be posting this on the Facebook page later on this morning. The only thing I ask is when you come, place your mat 6 feet away from each other. All right, so we practice our social distancing. I'll be on the left side of the pier so that we can see that moon rise, which I think will be about 7:20 tonight. So if you can join me, come on tonight, come on down to the beach, and we'll watch that moon rise and we'll practice. All right, so why don't we get going this morning? Go ahead. Hopefully you've got your little studio set up. You've got your mat, your straps if you need those, a chair if you need it for balance, and perhaps you put a little essential oil on this morning. We will start in a seated position. So if you need to, your bolster, go ahead, your pillow, whatever you have, your blanket or towel. I want you to go ahead and get yourself comfortable. Really find that length in your spine. And then just relax your hands anywhere in your lap. Go ahead and close your eyes. Finding that nice full breath. Allow your inhale to really create that space in your body for your practice this morning, and that exhale just kind of releases the tension, the toxins, the tightness that you might have. And as you find that steady rhythm of your breath, go ahead and clear your mind of any noise, any chatter, that list of things that you're going to do today. Put it all aside and just, at least for class, make yourself the top priority. And as always, feel free to set your intention for your practice or even reciting your prayer of gratitude this morning. On your next breath, why don't we go ahead and bring our palms together with our thumbs to heart center, harnessing that internal energy, and then just drop your chin down to your chest. Just a few breaths right here. On the next inhale, we can keep our palms together, but draw the fingertips up towards the ceiling and allow your gaze to follow your hands. Just as high as what's comfortable, and then as you exhale, bring your hands back down to your heart center, and again, allowing your gaze to follow. We'll do that a few times. Still using that nice full breath. Let's try that one more time. And then we're going to go ahead and interlace our fingers. Draw the palms forward and up. Feel that nice length through the sides of your body. And with your exhale, go ahead and release that. Drawing the elbows in towards the rib cage and bringing your palms back together. We'll do that a few times. Again, follow your breath. Do that one more time through. Finding your palms back to heart center. And then as we start our next cycle of breath, we'll bring our right hand onto the mat. Left fingertips draw straight up. I want you to feel the left hip root as the left fingertips reach. Again, that nice length in the side of your body. And then as you exhale, let's slide the right hand out. Reach. Again, still keep that left hip rooted. Perhaps you want to drop that right elbow. Do whatever feels good to find that lateral bend in your spine, that big stretch to the left side of your body. And if it feels all right, in the neck, you can gaze up at the elbow, even pull that elbow back. So take a few breaths right here. Open up the left side of your body. Let's go ahead and take one more breath. Let's come all the way up. And then as you exhale, find a spinal twist over to the left. We're going to release that spinal twist. And then we'll place our left hand on the mat, right fingertips up again. First, root that right hip down as the right fingertips reach to find that length. And then we will find that lateral bend. And any little adjustments that you need to make it more comfortable, I want you to do that. I want you to feel the right side of your body open up. Take one more inhale. And then as you exhale, come all the way back up and take it to your spinal twist to the right. And we will release the spinal twist. And let's take our legs out in front of us. Give them a little bit of a shake. Maybe point and flex those feet, wiggle those toes. And then we are going to put a slight bend in those knees. Heels will stay on the mat. Take a full breath in, and with your exhale, you're going to bow forward. You're going to reach for the toes. So if you can't reach the toes, bring your knees in a little bit more. Then tuck the chin and round the shoulders here. A nice stretch from your tailbone to the crown of your head. Feel free to pull on those toes, stretching the arches of your feet and the back of your toes. We can deepen the stretch to the back of the legs by slowly sliding our heels forward. Continuing with that bowing forward too, belly to thigh, chin to knee. And then slowly release your feet and stack your spine, looping your shoulders when you get to the top. And let's tuck that left foot in and really extend that right foot. So once again, right fingertips, let's take them slightly behind us, maybe to our hip, left fingertips up. We're going to reach across towards the outside of that extended leg. Now I want you to draw the chest straight down. So rather than going off to the side, let's go straight down. So remember, listen to your body. That's a generous stretch to the back of the leg. Also the left shoulder, so or the left scapula. So, you know, kind of listen to your body. Maybe your inhale brings your chest away from the leg, and your exhale, you can go just a little bit deeper. And then on your next inhale, let's again stack your spine, release that, and then we're going to come forward. All right, one more time, come forward. So reaching the fingertips to the sole of your foot, and again, dropping down. So just a few breaths. Because your next inhale, you'll stack the spine again. Loop your shoulders at the top. We're going to place this left hand right behind our left hip, and we're going to come all the way up onto that left knee and find a big stretch. So right fingertips to the back, and maybe you point that right toe, draw that right hip up, a wonderful stretch. On your next exhale, go ahead, release that, come all the way back down onto your mat. That felt nice. Let's switch it out. Let's try this on the other side. So left leg is extended. We tuck the right foot in. Go ahead and put that left hand behind your hip. Reach up with your inhale and reach across with your exhale. So again, belly to thigh, chin to knee, and peel open the scapula on the right. And the next inhale, sit up nice and tall, releasing your breath. Inhale, reach your arms up, and exhale, go ahead and reach forward. On your next breath, we'll release the foot, sitting up nice and tall. So let's take that right hand behind us. Are we ready? Right knee's gonna go onto the mat. Big lift. So feel the left hip reach, left fingertips overhead, maybe just the side of the big toe on the mat. And then as you exhale, go ahead and release that. Wonderful. Again, just shake out those legs. Roll the shoulders around. Maybe you want to find some movement in the neck. Easy. And then we are going to get ourselves onto all fours, right in the middle of your mat. Just a few more stretches. So as always, watching your alignment, your shoulders and your wrists, your knees and your hip, and then open your palms nice and wide. Notice the energy in your belly, because as you exhale, you're going to find your angry cat. And inhale, cow. And then we're just going to find a little movement. So from a nice neutral spine, as you inhale, just going to start to drop your hips towards the heels. And then we're going to circle around. I'm going to go to the back of the room, crown of the head towards the top of my mat, sway to the front of the room, and right back towards my heels. So I'm just making this nice circular motion, moving the shoulders, moving the hips. Using one cycle of breath to get myself around. One more in this direction. And then let's do a few in the opposite direction. We'll go around one more time. And then go ahead and find your child's pose. Cross your big toes, open your knees. Take the fingertips towards the front of the mat as you rest your forehead down. Really allowing everything to relax here. And always remembering in your yoga class, wherever you're taking your class, if you need a break, this is a nice pose to come to, just to totally relax, regroup, find your breath. Because our next inhale, we are going to come back to tabletop, back to all fours. Curl your toes, and we're going to find that first downward facing dog. With your exhale, float your hips up and sink your heels down. So, if you're still tight in the back of the legs, you go ahead and you walk your dog. Any type of movement that opens up the back of the body, feels good to you, is welcome. So we will soften both knees, let the heels come off the mat, gaze at your hands, and just walk your feet to your mat, to your hands, finding your forward fold. And then we're just going to round up one vertebrae at a time. Looping those shoulders when you get to the top. So if your mat, you want your mat just how I have my mat right now, so that, because our whole moon salutation, we're going to be facing the front. So if your mat is this way, right? Make it horizontal. We will start at one end of your mat. So we're all on this side. I think it's your left. Root your feet into the mat. Stand nice and tall. Feel the shoulder blades slide down your back. And we're going to inhale, reaching those arms up, bringing your palms together, even interlacing your fingers, but keeping your index fingers to the sky. So we're just gonna, as we inhale, bring your hips towards the center of your mat. Fingertips go away. All the way back up. All Try that again, just follow your breath. All the way back up. With your exhale, we are going to step wide. Step wide to the right of your mat. Get the toes and knees to the corners. Arms at goalposts and sink your hips down. That's our goddess pose. Right? So for our first time through, we'll walk through the goddess. We'll walk through each pose. So just come out of your goddess legs and find them again. Let's do that again. One more time. I want you to hold your goddess pose so the knees pull back, the belly pulls in. Feel that strength across your shoulder blades. Crown of the head lifts up. We're going to take this to a star pose. So lengthen the legs, lengthen the arms. So again, notice where your shoulder blades are. Feel the outsides of your feet push into the mat. We're going to take those left toes, take them to the side of the room, and just find a tip in your waist for a very easy triangle. Again, your gaze goes wherever it's comfortable. You feel like you're plastered against a wall. And we're going to take this to a pyramid pose. So first thing is to take those right toes, bring them to the front. There we go. Rotate and bow forward. So you may need to take that back foot in a little bit more. You want to have nice long legs here. If you can't reach the mat, this is where your block comes in handy. Maybe you have a book. Allow the belly to drop towards the thigh, the chin to the knee. Pyramid pose. Nice and strong in the soles of your feet. Pyramid pose is going to go to a high lunge. So we'll take that back foot, we'll pivot it, walk it back more, and drop the knee to the mat. And then lift your heart. So we peel the chest off the thigh and we peel the shoulder blades down our back. And then on our exhale, we're going to find a side lunge. So bring your back hand to the front or the inside of that foot and rotate. So slide this left hip back, maybe even taking the right toes off the mat. So right here, just a nice deep side lunge. And then just slowly come to center. So hips drop down. All right, you can take your palms together if you like. Try to lift your heart. Again, hands can stay here. Again, if you have a block, right here, focusing on dropping the hips. Open the knees. And then let's go ahead and slide all the way through to the other side. So now, that right hip draws back. Maybe the left toes come up. Hips, heaviness in the hips as they sink down. Again, if you need to find a little movement to make it work, do that. Because your exhale, we're going to rotate now to find that runner's lunge on the other side. Again, lifting your heart. Sliding that back knee back a little more. Breathing into the hips. This is going to take you to your pyramid pose. So curl the back toes, lift the knee. You know, slide that back foot in a little bit. Remember, back toes to the front of the room. Now draw your hips up and back as the chest drops now towards that right thigh. Right hip draws back. Relax your toes and slowly find a triangle on this side. So peel open this left shoulder. Draw this left hip up and back. Again, your gaze is wherever it's comfortable. Because on your next inhale, we're going to rise all the way up, and we're going to find that star pose again. So adjust your feet if you can go wider. Right, toes and knees to the corner. Reach. And then find your goddess pose. Remember, we sink the hips down, push the knees open. Take a nice full breath, because you're going to, and maybe this first time we'll bring the hands to the hip, because you're going to take that left foot to meet the right foot. All the way back to where we started. That's half of a moon salutation. Release those arms for a moment. Bring our hands to heart center. Before we start the second half of our moon salutation, we'll move back to the other side of our mat. Stay right here. We'll flow back to the other side of our mat. So big breath in. Again, draw your hips towards the center of your mat as the fingertips go to the other side. All the way back up. And switch that out, reverse that. Nice, again, one more time, up. Exhale, off to the side. Center. Come all the way up. Big step out to the left and sink to your goddess pose. Find your star pose. Turn the right toes out and find your triangle. Turn the back toes to the front and find your pyramid pose. Pyramid pose becomes a lunge. Lifting your heart in your lunge. Finding your side lunge over to the right. Remember, you've got this block. Come through center. Take it all the way over to the left for your side lunge. And then take this to your runner's lunge, pivot, drop the knee, lift the heart. And take this to our pyramid pose, so those back toes point to the front, belly to thigh, chin to knee. Really pull that left hip back. Moving into your triangle. Now pulling that right hip up. Moving into your star pose. Toes now go to the corners of the room. Big reach, starting, generating from the center of your chest, all the way to your goddess pose. And then we're going to take that step over to the left. Fingertips towards the center of your mat as you push the left hip out. Inhale up. Exhale, opposite direction. Back to center. Find your goddess pose again. Find your star. Find your triangle. Triangle to the left. Find your pyramid pose. Take your pyramid to your lunge, your runner's lunge, lifting your heart. All the way to that deep side lunge on the left side, facing the front of the room. Again, maybe those right toes are up. Feel free to take your hands to heart center and then come back through center, holding center. All the way to the other side. Taking this to the runner's lunge on the other side. To pyramid pose. Back toes face the front of the room, belly drops to the thighs. Finding your triangle. Making any adjustments, again, making those adjustments as you go. And we'll take this triangle to the star pose. To goddess. Breath in your goddess. And then we'll find that big step over to the right. Taking your left hip towards the center of your mat. Finding that lateral bend all the way up. Switching that out. Coming back to center. And again, find your goddess pose again. Find your star. Triangle to the right. Do your pyramid pose. Adjust your feet. Take this to your runner's lunge. Pivot forward and sink into your right hip. Coming through center. And then all the way over to the left. And go ahead and find your runner's lunge again. Finding pyramid pose. Finding triangle. Coming up to star. To goddess. And bringing that right foot over to the left. And again, bringing your right hip in towards your mat with your lateral bend all the way up. Reversing that all the way up. And bringing your palms to heart center. And release to mountain pose. And that's our moon salutation. So let's go ahead and once again get ourselves comfortable, seated on your mat. I'm going to find a nice spinal twist over to the left. So take your left hand behind your hip, right hand can float across. Find the twist in your spine and even allow your gaze to go back just as far, if not farther. And then come back, release your spinal twist. Take your legs out in front. Take a nice breath in and fold forward with your exhale. Slowly release that forward bend and stack your spine, taking your hands behind you. Let's point the toes this time. Lift your heart. If you want, you can always lift those hips off the mat for a reverse plank. Don't have to this morning. And as you exhale, go ahead, lower the hips down. Find your cross-legged position again. And take your spinal twist over to the right. Coming back to center, let's take the soles of the feet together this time. Whether you hang on to the toes, the ankles, maybe you interlace your hands. And again, you're going to go ahead and bow forward. So just tipping from your hips, keeping your spine long. And go ahead and release that, stretch, extend your legs out again. Point your toes. This time come onto the elbows and your forearms. Point your toes, lift your heart again. Feel free to drop your head. And then just pushing through your elbows, bringing yourself up. Giving the shoulders a nice roll. We are going to go into Shavasana, so you can go ahead and lay down right onto your back. If it feels all right, let's tuck the knees into the belly, little rock side to side before we settle in. Get any movement in your ankle. Wiggle your fingers and your toes, fluttering your eyes open, and then bringing yourself back to that seated position. Taking your hands together in prayer and your thumbs to your heart center, harnessing this energy that we just woke up. Take this energy and use it as you go through your day, and share it with those you come in contact with. Doesn't always have to be a handshake or a hug, a smile, allowing somebody to go in front of you wherever you are. Little gestures like that can do so much to change the outcome of somebody else's day, even your own day. So again, take this energy and share it, use it. So let's all together take one more deep breath in, and namaste. So thank you again, everybody, for coming out, joining me this morning. It's just such a treat for me. And as I stated, I'm going to be at the beach tonight. All right, I'm going to get there about 7. Hi, Julia. So bring your mat or a towel. Again, 6 feet away. I'll put all the details on the Facebook page. Share this information with your friend. I think we could all use a little break and just a little mindful meditation, even just a little quiet in our day. So thank you. You guys, thank you for coming this morning. Have a great day, and I'll be back here live tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. Bye.